blue folder felt heavier than physics textbooks that morning. Inside weren't homework assignments, just printed pages of state anti-bullying laws and Title IX guidelines that 17-year-old Kira Voss had been studying for 2 weeks. She'd memorized section 142 to 223 like other kids memorize TikTok dances. Recording conversations where you are a participating party requires no additional consent in this state. Her mother's voice echoed from their kitchen table sessions. Evidence wins cases, Kira. Not emotions, not even bruises. Evidence. The hallway stretched before her. Same fluorescent lights that had witnessed 3 weeks of accidental shoulder checks. Same scuffed linoleum where chocolate milk had somehow always found its way onto her shoes. Same blind spot where Blake. Morrison liked to remind her that foreigners didn't belong at Jefferson High, never mind that she was born at Riverside General. Same hospital where his father got his appendix removed. Nice. Dope. Jessica Palmer's voice sliced through morning chatter. Did your mom make it at a restaurant? Kira's fingers found her phone. One tap. Recording. Legal in this state. Thank you. My mom's a civil rights attorney, Kira said evenly. The restaurant closed 3 years ago after your dad's country club denied their business loan application. Remember? Jessica's smile faltered. Behind her, Tyler Harris snickered while thumbing his phone. He didn't know about revenge porn statutes, but Kira's blue folder held printouts about those too. Whatever. Jessica pivoted toward Blake, who leaned against locker 247. She's wearing another one of those Korean brands nobody's heard of. It's from Target, Kira said. The top was new cerulean blue, with delicate embroidery. She'd saved 2 months of tutoring money for it. Blake pushed off the locker. 6'2" frame cutting through students. Target, even Target's too good for your kind. There it was. On recording, bias-motivated harassment. David Chen materialized beside her. Quiet David, who'd been documenting everything in his journals since freshman year. His phone was already out. Camera angle strategic. Morning, Kira. Blake's eyes narrowed. Great. The Asian invasion is complete. Actually, David said mildly, my family's been in California since 1852. When did the Morrisons arrive again? Don't get smart with me, Chen. Blake stepped closer. Your girlfriend here needs to learn respect. I don't need anyone speaking for me, Kira interrupted, her voice steady despite her pulse hammering. 3 weeks of this. 3 weeks of documentation. Was today enough? No. You need to learn your place, Blake said, loud enough for the gathering crowd. Maybe if your mom had stayed in the kitchen where she belonged instead of pretending to be a lawyer. Finish that sentence, Kira said. Please finish that sentence so everyone can hear exactly what you think. Thrown my mom, Blake continued, confidence returning. Says people like your family are what's ruining this town. Coming here, taking opportunities from real Americans. I was born at Riverside General. Room 302. Doesn't matter where you were born. You'll never be one of us. More phones appeared. One of who exactly? Kira kept her voice conversational. People whose families built this town. My grandfather helped design the Mitchell Bridge. People who contribute. My dad's performed over 3,000 surgeries at Riverside. People who follow the law? Because Blake, everything you've done in the last 3 weeks, the shoving. The drinks spilled, the names called it's all documented. His face went through emotions. You're lying, am I? She pulled out her phone, showed the recording timer. Sure are minutes, sis. Seconds. One-party consent state, Blake. Everything you've said is admissible. The crowd went silent. Little Blake lunged forward. David stepped between them. Not worth it, man. Move, Chen. Can't do that. Principal Martinez appeared. What's going on here? Nothing, sir, Jessica chirped. Mr. Martinez, I'd like to file a formal complaint. I have documentation of 3 weeks of bias-motivated harassment. Martinez's smile looked strained. Why don't we discuss this in my office? No need to make a scene. Actually, I think transparency is important. Jefferson High has a zero-tolerance policy. Says so right on the website. My office. Now. I'll need a parent present. School policy for any disciplinary discussion. Page 43 of the student handbook. Martinez's jaw worked. This isn't disciplinary yet, Kira interrupted, but it will be. Because I have 23 documented incidents, 8 with video evidence, 14 with audio recordings, all legally obtained, all showing a pattern of harassment that the administration has failed to address. The bell rang, but nobody moved. Everyone to class, Martinez ordered. Ms. Voss, we'll discuss this later. 10:30, Kira agreed. My mother will be here. She turned to leave, and that's when Blake made his mistake. His hand shot out, grabbing her new top at the shoulder. The fabric tore with a sound like the world ripping. Cerulean blue, splitting to reveal the white sports bra underneath. Time slowed. Blake's other hand came up, reaching for more fabric. Muscle memory took over. Pivot, right elbow up and back, hip rotation for power. Her elbow connected with his solar plexus perfectly. Textbook self-defense. Blake folded, gasping for air. The hallway erupted. Phones swung like news cameras. That's assault. Martinez roared. At self-defense, she corrected, pulling out her phone. 3 taps. 911. I'm at Jefferson High School. I've just been assaulted by a student who tore my clothing in front of witnesses. I defended myself with minimum necessary force. The attacker is Blake Morrison. Martinez went white. You can't call the police. I just did. Kira kept the dispatcher on speaker. Ma'am, the school principal is trying to interfere with my report. His name is Robert Martinez. David stepped closer, shrugging off his hoodie. Here, she took it gratefully. You're done here, Blake, gasped from the floor. My mom will. Your mom will? What? Sujin Voss's voice cut through the chaos. She stood at the hallway's end in her courtroom suit. Explain to the school board how her son commits assault in front of 30 witnesses. How he's been systematically harassing my daughter with racial bias for 3 weeks. How the administration has been negligent in their duty of care. Behind her followed a man in a sharp suit. Michael Park. Education law. I specialize in Title IX violations and administrative negligence. I understand you've been losing my client's complaint forms, Kira said quietly. Sujin's professional mask cracked, seeing her daughter's torn shirt. Then it reformed harder. Are you hurt? No. I used the solar plexus strike. Nothing excessive. Good girl. Sujin turned to the crowd. I hope everyone saved their videos. You'll be receiving subpoenas, lawful ones, following proper procedure. Sirens wailed in the distance. She hit me, Blake struggled to say. After you assaulted her, David said calmly. I have the whole thing. Very clean technique, by the way.
Thanks.
My dad teaches. Careful, Attorney Park interrupted. Hate speech during commission of assault adds federal charges. 2 officers appeared. The older one, badge reading Sergeant Williams, nodded at Sujin. Counselor. Sergeant, my daughter was assaulted. She has audio of the entire incident. Multiple witnesses have video. She used minimum force to defend herself when Mr. Morrison grabbed and tore her clothing. Can you stand, son? Williams looked at Blake. She assaulted me. Did you touch her first? Blake's silence was its own confession. Tyler Harris was recording, Jessica blurted. Tyler went pale. I deleted it. No, you didn't, Kira said. You posted it to your story. Screenshot captured at 8:47 a.m. It's posting video of a minor being assaulted, revealing undergarments, Attorney Park said. Distribution of exploitative material. Serious charges. They helped Blake to his feet and read him his rights. The hallway watched in stunned silence as Blake Morrison, untouchable Blake, got arrested as they led Blake away. Kira felt 3 weeks lift from her shoulders. Everyone to class, Martinez said weakly. Nobody moved. Sujin put her arm around Kira. You did everything right, baby. I know. You taught me well. Your father's going to want to hear about that elbow strike. Attorney Park joined them. Ms. Voss, we need to discuss strategy. Criminal charges are just the beginning. David still hovered nearby. We protect each other. That's what we do. But as they reached the office door, Kira noticed Jessica at her locker, talking rapidly into her phone. The look she shot Kira wasn't defeated. It was calculating. 3 days. That's how long it took for the Morrison family machine to start grinding. They offered a deal, Sujin said. Blake pleads to simple assault, no hate crime enhancement, community service, sealed juvenile record. No, Kira said immediately. Her father looked up. Maybe we should consider… No, that's not justice. That's what money buys when it's scared. Sujin smiled. That's my girl. But you need to understand what's coming. The Morrisons have hired Whitman and associates. Kira's phone buzzed. David. Check Jessica's Instagram story. The video showed Kira practicing forms in the garage. Jessica's voiceover. Look what I found. She's been training to hurt people. This was planned, screenshotted, Sujin ordered. Already did. Good. Defamation suit just got stronger. Monday morning, Kira walked through Jefferson High's doors to find the hallway transformed. Blake's friends wore Justice for Blake's t-shirts. But for every one of those, there was a student wearing blue. Did you see? Priya Patel jogged up. Someone leaked the security footage from 3 weeks ago. The chocolate milk incident. The video was spreading faster than damage control could contain it, Miss Rodriguez, Kira realized. The English teacher who'd been at Jefferson High for 15 years, Kira Voss, please report to the principal's office. By the time she reached the office, she had an escort of witnesses, Dr. Patricia Williams. Brought in from the district office, sat behind the desk. Blake's parents occupied the leather chairs. Ms. Voss, Dr. Williams began. The Morrisons have some concerns. She attacked our son. Catherine Morrison interrupted. Premeditated assault. Sujin materialized in the doorway. Are you referring to the illegally obtained footage of my minor daughter practicing cultural martial arts in her own home? Attorney Park followed. Or the edited version Jessica Palmer posted with defamatory commentary. This is ridiculous, Richard Morrison said. Your daughter assaulted our son. After he assaulted her, Dr. Williams interrupted. I've reviewed the footage. All of it. Including the 37 previous incidents Principal Martinez failed to document. 37? Kira asked. Security cameras are wonderful things when someone actually reviews them. He tore her shirt off, David said. Blake grabbed Kira and ripped her clothing in a hallway full of students. That's sexual assault. You weren't even supposed to be in this meeting, Richard snarled. Actually, Ms. Voss requested witnesses present. School policy. Sujin leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. Blake will face consequences. Criminal charges for assault with hate crime enhancement. Tyler Harris will be charged with distribution of exploitative material. Jessica Palmer will be named in our defamation suit. And this district will undergo a complete review. Can't. We can. Your son created extensive documentation of his own crimes. This is about money, Richard said, reaching for his checkbook. Did you just attempt to bribe a civil rights attorney in front of witnesses? Attorney Park asked with genuine delight. I believe this meeting is concluded, Dr. Williams said. They swept from the office. In the hallway, someone started clapping. This isn't over, Kira told David. No, it's just beginning. The next 2 weeks blurred together. Blake returned with an ankle monitor. Tyler cracked first, revealing a group chat called Keep Jefferson Pure. Blake's college prospects evaporated. Then came Thursday. Kira sat in the cafeteria when Blake appeared. Enjoying your victory? Civil suits can drag on for years. Blake, David warned, phone recording. This is between me and her. Kira set down her sandwich. No, Blake, it's between you and the law. I'm just the person who refused to be your victim. Victim? You planned this. I was born here, Kira said. Doesn't matter. Blake slammed his fist on the table. You don't belong. None of you belong. He never finished. Kira stood up. Just stood. You know what's sad, Blake? You actually believe that? You think accident of birth makes you special? And when someone like me outworks you, outsmarts you, stands up to you, your whole world collapses. You think you're better than me? No. I think I'm equal to you. That's what terrifies you. Blake moved first, reaching for her lunch tray. Kira pulled it back. His momentum carried him forward. He stumbled, came up swinging. Kira stepped aside, used his momentum against him. He crashed into the chair table, edge catching his ribs. "Stop!" Dr. Williams' voice cut through the chaos. Behind her came security. "She assaulted me again," Blake gasped. "No," Dr. Williams said firmly. "You violated your bail conditions. You attempted assault." She defended herself. "And I watched it happen personally." The officer checking Blake's ankle monitor looked up. "This shows you within 50 feet of Ms. Voss. Direct violation. You're under arrest." As they let him out, Blake turned back. "This isn't over," as Kira said quietly. "It is." The trials were swift. Blake pled down to assault with bias enhancement, 2 years probation. 300 hours of community service with immigrant communities. Mandatory counseling. Tyler got 6 months probation. The civil suits were where Sujin truly shined. The Morrisons settled for an amount that would fund Kira's college and establish a permanent anti-bullying program. Catherine Morrison quietly resigned from the school board. Martinez's termination was followed by potential criminal charges, but the real victory came next. "We need to talk about the name," David said, looking at the banner. Student Rights Alliance sounds like something adults would create. They sat in the Voss garage, transformed into planning headquarters. "What do you suggest?" "Stand," David said. "Students taking action, no delays. Stand." Kira smiled. "I like it." Sujin appeared with legal texts. "Are you sure about this?" "Mom, you taught me that silence is compliance. How can I be silent when other kids are going through what I went through?" The first official stand meeting drew 40 students. By the second, they moved to the auditorium. They created a buddy system, established a secure reporting app, and provided no rights workshops. 6 months later, Kira stood before the school board, presenting their first impact report. Reported incidents are up 300%. This isn't because bullying has increased. It's because students now believe reporting matters. Of those reports, 92% resulted in meaningful intervention. She clicked to the next slide. "We've provided legal support for 17 serious cases, connected 30 students with counseling, and created a peer support network. Most importantly, we've changed the conversation. Bullying isn't a rite of passage. It's a choice. And choices have consequences." The board voted unanimously to fund STAN's programs district-wide. In the audience, Blake Morrison sat in the back, court-ordered to attend. He looked smaller now. After the meeting, he approached. David tensed, but Kira held up a hand. "I'm sorry," Blake said. "Not because I have to be, because you were right." Kira studied him. "Apologies are just words, Blake. What matters is what you do next. The Resource Center is teaching me Mandarin and Korean. Figure if I'm going to live in this world, I should learn who I'm sharing it with." It wasn't redemption, but it was a start. Sujin appeared. "Proud of you? I learned from the best." "No, you learned from necessity. You just had better teachers than most." The blue folder still sat on Kira's desk, but it was buried now under scholarship applications and college brochures. Harvard had reached out. Y'all too. But it was Howard University's program in civil rights law that made her heart race. "Following in my footsteps?" Sujin asked. "Forging my own path. With better tools than you had?" The garage dojo still saw regular use, now hosting self-defense classes. Jin Woo taught alongside his daughter. Remember, Kira told each new class, "The goal isn't to fight. It's to survive, document, and change the system so the next person doesn't have to fight as hard." On the anniversary of the hallway incident, Channel 7 ran a follow-up story. The statistics were impressive. Bullying incidents down 60%. Successful interventions up 90%. But the moment that went viral was a quiet shot of the hallway where it all started. Now that spot held a plaque. "Change begins when silence ends. Stand with us" below it, in honor of all students who found their voice and those still searching for theirs. The blue folder had done its job. Now it was time for the next chapter, because Sujin had been right about one thing above all. Silence was compliance, and Kira Voss would never be silent again. Neither would the dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of students who learned from her example, who understood that documentation beats intimidation. That community beats isolation. That standing up, even when your legs shake, beats kneeling in fear. Blake Morrison had thought he was untouchable. He'd learned otherwise. The system had thought it was unchangeable. It was learning otherwise. If you knew how to make it, listen.